Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be going over Season 3 Episode 2 of From titled When We Go. Last episode was bloody brutal with a bit of a cliffhanger or maybe more of a thriller hanger at the end. So I look forward to seeing what happens in this episode. Let's get into it. We open with Jade going to check on Boyd, getting an amazing scene from Harold Perrineau. Really showing the level of actor he is, with him holding on to Chan Chen, apologising for not being able to help her. Quickly switching to Jim and Kenny finding a mix of vegetables growing next to their camp. I like the idea that this place gives and takes. It took Chan Chen in exchange of feeding the town. It took Boyd's wife in exchange for livestock and talismans. I feel like we've seen this a lot in the show and like to think that although there are forces trying to tear them down, there are also forces trying to help them. Donna absolutely rips into Boyd about going after the animals instead of protecting the people. Some bloody good acting here from Elizabeth Saunders as well. Fatima's morning sickness seems to be getting worse, and on top of that, her teeth are now falling out for some reason. That's worse than the skin getting ripped off scene. When she pulled her tooth out, it just gave me the shivers. I hate that. In a show with so many mysteries, this show has also just answered the biggest one. Whose ute ended up in the pool? Turns out it was two people named Danny and Shay, and honestly I thought there would have been more of a story there, to be honest, especially with such iconic imagery. Jim and Kenny return, and yeah, you can just tell Boyd isn't ready to have this conversation, and neither is Kenny. Kenny's having a bit of a meltdown in the diner, and of course, in true Fromtown fashion, the radio turns on, playing It's Celebration Time, with Kenny smashing it. It's about time somebody did that, screw that radio. Fatima is basically told, losing some teeth is pretty normal, you just need to eat more and you'll be all good. So Fatima is fine. That is until she sees the rotting vegetables and starts acting like they're a freshly cooked rack of ribs. So yeah, this definitely isn't good. There's been a lot of theories on what's happening with her. At least to my knowledge, there are no newborns around, nor have we heard of anyone growing up from infancy here. My current theory is that children born here become a part of this place, much like the 7 children Jade saw and the boy in white. Or they become sacrifices for the entities that inhabit the town, or maybe something entirely different. But I highly doubt that the children born here are normal. Finally, somebody says what has been on all of our minds. Last season, Tabitha and Victor walked through the tunnels, seemingly the tunnels that these things sleep in, and Kenny finally clicked and went, let's go burn them all, with Boyd tagging along. This was something I always saw mentioned, and I'm glad that the creators of the show clicked onto that and wrote a plotline for it, even though it was quite small. However, with Boyd sharing Chan Chen's last words to Kenny, he decides to abandon mission and to go see his mother. Julie also mentions to Sarah that she's scared after her coma, that she's scared she's going to end up like Sarah, and that this place may be in her head. Onto Tabitha's plotline this episode, I thought I'd split them up into 2 sections because they're both very different. But basically, Tabitha attempts to explain where Victor and her family is to Victor's dad, or as we learn, Henry. And surely enough, that goes fantastically. However, Tabitha finds a way to prove it to him, showing him all the people that ended up missing and ended up in the town. Tabitha eventually mentions that she thought if she saved the children in the tower, her kids would be okay, and Henry seems to click, sending the police that he called away. According to Henry, before his wife disappeared, she was hearing voices talking about saving children. This is the only time we've heard of people having these experiences outside of the town, which adds a whole nother level to this place. With the ending of the episode, Henry takes Tabitha down to the basement, with drugs seemingly allowing Miranda to see the 7 children in white, along with other very familiar things. The lighthouse, the diner, a Union soldier, a man in a yellow suit surrounded by red. I believe that to be the cowboy creature, but I don't know for sure. Miranda also painted the boy in white and many other familiar sightings, the cave, the church, and so on. She apparently stated that the people who see the children are called upon to save them, with her being one of the many, but with everyone so far failing. We end with an interesting one, Jim getting a phone call from Thomas, Jim and Tabitha's dead son. Obviously, a lot to take in this episode, but I loved this episode. We finally got some more information. Although, let's be honest, much like the previous seasons of this show, more questions than answers. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe, and let me know what theories came out of this episode for you. And did you notice anything I didn't? Bye.